got John, Spencer, Tabensi, James, Usman. It's great to see you all. I am in Manchester, so it's the evening. It's the evening right now. But welcome to day one of Master Your Mindset, Master Your Business. I'm assuming we have probably come across me on maybe Eventbrite. I hosted well, not hosted, what's the word? I advertised this event on Eventbrite, and you are probably all here because you want to master your mindset and master your business. So it's great to see you all. This masterclass is going to be a 3-day masterclass. It's going to be today, starting now at 6 p.m. UK time. It's going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time, and it's also going to run on Wednesday. Now, it's also important to understand that each session is going to build up on one another. But when I first, became a business owner and I first got into this material, what I found is that I would read books on sales, I would read books on business, I would read books on mindset, but I wouldn't actually do anything about it. Give me a yes in the chat if you've ever been there. It seems like, a lot of the time we just more information, but then we're frustrated because we're not doing anything about it. Well, I've designed this masterclass so we actually take action and see tangible results within these three powerful sessions, these 3 days that we're going to spend together. And also, just let me know in the chat. I would love to know where you're tuning in from. I mean, I've done some of these sometimes. We've had Dubai, UK, US, Canada, people from all over. Great to see you here, Reece. So, yeah, where are you tuning in from? I'd love to know. Kenneth's in the US, the Midlands. Paul's in London, Canada, Atlanta, Scotland. Amazing. Amazing. I love it. Well, I'm tuning in from Manchester, and I can't lie, it's cold in Manchester right now. It's very cold in Manchester, New York. I love it. I'm assuming it's probably cold over there as well. For those of you that are new to me, maybe you've seen this event advertised, you didn't know exactly who was hosting it. My name is Joel McLeod. I am from Manchester in the United Kingdom, and I'm top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants. So I'm a certified Proctor Gallagher consultant, and we help businesses skyrocket their income and skyrocket the sales by actually learning to understand that you are your business. So when we look at your world, we've got to get really honest and sit down and go, okay, I am my only problem and I am my only solution. And if I want to change my results, then I've got to change me. You see a lot of people, it's his fault, it's her fault, it's the industry I'm in. No, that's not true. They're your results. So the only thing that you've really got to change is you. Now, I used to have a big paradigm around that. I used to have a big problem around that. I used to blame the outside world, blame people around me, blame the industry I'm in, blame even the month of the year. You hear people say, "Oh yeah, it's just not a good time of year in my industry, right?" But they're kidding themselves. If you want to change your results, you've got to change you, and that's what this masterclass is going to be all about, right? If you've not joined the WhatsApp group, this is where the implementation is going to take place. Because what I found is that if we're not implementing, if we're not taking action, then we're not going to get different results, right? If we want more income, if we want more sales, if we want more prosperity and more abundance, then we are going to have to take different actions. Now, there's certain things that control our actions that we're going to go into today, but I want you taking massive action. So whether it's comfortable, what I ask you to do, whether it's uncomfortable, I want you to just take massive action on it anyway. Can we all agree on that? Perfect, right? It's 1 hour a day, today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and just pay attention. Be open-minded and realize this is time to work on your business instead of in your business. When we think of your business, what is it? It's you. You are the business, right? So I see a lot of entrepreneurs come to me and business owners and people in sales or, coaches and consultants. And they're always trying different like marketing strategies. You know, they're always changing the offers. They're always trying to, I don't know, look pretty, look fancy on social media, right? But that's not the way to get results. It's really not the way to get the results. Think about your business as a vehicle. Think of it like it's a car, right? Now you're going to set off from where you are to your destination. Your destination's a long motorway. Now, we're not going to get to the destination by putting nice paint on the car, by putting fancy stickers on the car, by fixing the paintwork. That's not going to drive you to your destination. This is what most people are doing. They're trying to flood more money into Facebook marketing, into Facebook ads. They're creating new sales pitches, whatever they want to do. But that's like putting stickers on the car. The thing that's going to get the car to the destination is the engine. A safe, sound engine. And that engine is you, right? And if that engine is not getting the correct oil, right? If it's not being serviced, how is that car going to last on the motorway? How are you going to last in business? Is this making sense? So it's time to stop putting fancy stickers on the car and spend 3 days fine-tuning the engine, making it a beast of a motor. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? I'd love to know before we really kick off and get into this, what is your business? What is your industry, or what is it you sell? Let me know. Got a few Scottish people in here. New York. I love it. Yeah, what is it you sell? What industry are you in? Wellness products, personal trainer, online coaching. Nice. That's how I first started off. One-to-one coach, an online coach. Perfect. MedTech. Okay, cool. So it's looking like most of us at least have a product or service. Private investigation. Okay, cool. I want you to think about this as well, right? A lot of people talk about making money. You can't make money. Okay, the people that make money are the people that work in the mint, right? The only thing we can do is earn money. Now, how do we earn money? Well, I would exchange my money for your service or product because I find it useful. So the only thing that we can do is actually earn money. Now, I want you to think about someone in the same industry as you that is doing 100 times better than you. So let's say there's an online fitness coach. I know online fitness coaches out there making 6 figures every single month. What's the difference between them and you? There really is no difference. There really is no difference. You both have the same amount of potential. It's just one is doing certain things in a certain way and one is thinking differently. That's the only difference, right? If we look out, I don't know, in our garden, you ever walk past like a patch of grass? Do you know how many blades are in that patch of glass? Or when you look around and you see all the bricks on the buildings or all the birds in the sky, everywhere you look, there's abundance. There's absolute abundance. There's an abundance of money. Now, I have done very well in business for myself, but I never came from that type of background. You know, you might see me here today in a suit and stuff, but I grew up on a council estate in Manchester, a place called Openshaw. Not sure if you ever seen the series Shameless. I grew up on the same estate that the same estate that Shameless was filmed on. Now, I was a misunderstood kid. Everyone around me smoked weed. Mum smoked weed. Dad smoked weed. Stepdad smoked weed. Everyone around me smoked weed. So it was no coincidence how I grew up smoking weed. And at 13, I got kicked out of school. I have not been to school or had any formal education since the age of 13. Now, if you grew up anything like me, I was told that if you want to earn lots of money, you've got to be really smart and have great degrees. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've heard that. Well, I am not very smart and I haven't got any degrees, no GCSEs, no nothing. And from the ages of 13 till probably about 19, I was on the streets. I was selling things that I shouldn't necessarily have been selling. All of my friends were doing it. It was all I ever knew. So for me to be where I am today, you could say that I beat the odds, but I've only beat the odds by learning certain things that you're also going to learn over these 3 days. Now, when I first came across this material, I came across a man on YouTube called Bob Proctor, and he was known for the law of attraction, the law of vibration. He played a big part in the movie The Secret. And for some reason, I started picking up books, and I came across him on YouTube, and I started listening to him, and he was talking about how thoughts become things, how you can, manifest things and all this. And at first, from a place that I grew up around, I mean, if I would have shown that to my friends, they would have said, "This guy's like he's cuckoo." Like this, how can your thoughts become things, right? For some reason, I kept listening to him though. Maybe because I was losing. I had a daughter on the way, and I really wanted to provide. I thought if I earned lots of money, then all of my problems would go away. Now I earn lots of money, you kind of find out that that's not true. All your problems don't go away. But when you've got no money, you think your problems will go away. So I started listening to him. But for 5 years, my income didn't change. So when I was 19, I got into the modeling industry. I didn't really like it, but I did it anyway. And I was probably making about 15 grand a year, like hit or miss. Some months I'd book a modeling job, 3K. Some months I won't book any jobs, right? And I was with my ex-partner at the time, my mother of my children. And she really done kind of like the masculine part of the relationship. She was paying most of the rent, and I was just getting by trying to do what I was doing. Now, even though I was, implementing this material, I was visualizing a better life. I was thinking about, taking my kids to Dubai and letting them see Disneyland and stuff like that. 6 years after, when I was 25 years old, 26 years old, I was still making £15,000 a year. So I thought I need help. So I went onto Bob Proctor's website. I put in my email. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew I needed help. And I put in my phone number. And a few days later, this guy called Cammy rang me. And he said, "What do you want, Joel? Like, what's your goal?" And I said, I just want some fucking money, if I'm honest. I want to earn more money. I want to be able to drive the car I want to drive. I want to be able to buy the house I want to be able to buy. And yeah, I just want more money. And he said, "Well, what's the most you've ever earned in a year?" And I said, 15,000. He said, "How much would you like to earn?" I said, £25,000. And he was quite blunt, and he said that that's a terrible goal. He said, "You already know how to make £25,000, sorry, £15,000. Why don't you focus on turning your yearly income into a monthly income?" And this is what we're going to get into very soon with the goal setting. But when Cam said that to me, do you think I believed that I could turn my yearly income into a monthly income? I thought that was absolutely nuts. That was impossible. But he said it with so much belief and conviction that I believed that this Cam believed what he was saying. So he told me about this mentorship. It was something like $10,000 or something for the year mentorship. I didn't have that money. So I said to him, I said, I mean, I'd love to do it, but I don't have the money. And that's where he told me about decision making, how, you don't need the money until you make the decision. If something was to happen to your mum tomorrow and you had to come up with $10,000, do you think you'd find it? And I said, yeah. And then I kind of got it. Oh, okay. I don't need the money. I just need to make a decision and go out and get the money. I found the money. I went for a payment plan. I found the money. He helped me out. And the first thing he got me to do was really start thinking about turning my yearly income into a monthly income, right? And as I'm thinking about this goal, he also got me to write a goal on a goal card, which we'll talk about. It's going to be one of your action steps for today's session. I started thinking about money, and because I was thinking about money, I started thinking about what I could do to earn money. And this idea came into my mind about a month into the program, that I should go and build an online fitness company that operates all around the world. I should become an online fitness coach. Now, I didn't, I mean, I'm in good shape myself. I was in good shape, but I didn't know anything about calories or nutrition or, the right exercises to do. I'd never got anyone else into shape. But he also taught me you don't need to know how to do something. If you knew how to do what you wanted to do, you'd already be doing it. He said, you don't need to know how, you need to make a decision that you're going to do it. So I reached out to a few of my friends. My little sister Bobby, her boyfriend Damien wanted to get in shape. So I said, look, I'll get you in shape for free as long as you give me the before and after pictures so I can start promoting on social media. I won't go into it too much, but 5.5 months later, got kicked out of school at 13, never sold anything in my life, never knew anything about business. This online fitness company I was bringing in £18,000 a month cash collected, which was crazy, right? For me, from a council estate, having £18,000 a month was crazy. So I took my kids to Disneyland, took them to Portugal, took them to Dubai. And when I was in Dubai, I was just shocked at how easily money was just coming to me. It just kept coming. I couldn't stop money coming to me. So, but I'd never sat down and really thought about it. So I sat down and I thought, like, what the fuck has happened? Like, how have I been broke for so long, and now this money just keeps coming to me? And I knew it was through thinking into results. I knew it was from the program that I was going through. I was studying it every morning. I was taking action on it. I knew it was through that. It was through changing what was going on with inside of me. So it was 2 in the morning in Dubai. I'm in bed and I'm thinking, this is amazing. I don't even want to do the fitness coaching anymore. I want people to experience what I've experienced, because I knew so many people was out there from backgrounds like me that thought some people just get lucky in this world. You know, God gives these talents and abilities to some people and they can earn money, but some people can't earn money. And I knew that weren't true because I weren't smart. You know, I grew up every 2 weeks going to visit my dad in prison. You know, the odds were against me and here I am winning. So I rang up Bob Proctor's company and said, how do I teach this material? And they told me I could become a consultant. You know, I've got to go through extensive training, learn how to get people results. And that was 18 months ago. And now I'm top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants worldwide, which is incredible, right? But I followed a system. And that's what I've learned. Success is not a secret. It's just a system. And if you follow the system, you will be successful. So we're going to unlock one of those systems today, and we're going to really talk about goals. And I want you to be really open-minded to what I say. You see, Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, he said that open-mindedness is essential to success. Because over these next 3 days, I'm going to throw some ideas that could make you £20,000 within the next week. But if your mind is closed to accepting these ideas, they're just going to go past you. I love to see that, Reese. I love to see that. They're just going to go past your mind. So I want you to be really, really open-minded to this information. Can I get that commitment from you guys? Give me a yes in the chat. Yeah? Perfect. Now, the reason why I find goals so important and the way that Bob taught me is if you go down the street anywhere in the world and you ask the next 100 people what their goal is, most of them are going to probably ask you, what do you mean? And if you ask those same people if they've got their goal in writing where they can see it and they carry it with them, the odds are that they don't. Okay. Now, if we think 97% of the population, let's not sugarcoat it, 97% of the population are not living the way that they want to live. They're losing. They're not driving the car they want to drive. They're not buying the clothes they want to buy. They're not living in the house that they want to live in. They're not selling the amount that they want to sell. So if we keep following other people and what they're doing, what are the odds that those people around you right now know what they're doing? One of the best pieces of advice that I've ever heard is never take advice from someone that has not got the results that you want. You do not go and ask someone or discuss money opportunities or ask for someone's advice if they're not earning money. You don't go and ask an obese person, how do I get incredible shape and have 10% body fat? You don't do it. Now, it might sound cutthroat. I don't care. It is what it is. I used to go around when I was younger and ask people that weren't earning money, what do you think about this opportunity? Like they're going to know. If they knew, they'd already be doing it for themselves, right? Now, if you write your goal on a piece of card and you carry it everywhere with you, I promise you it absolutely must happen in your life. It must happen in your life. And we're going to go into why that is, right? But goals fall into 3 categories. And you've got a worksheet. If you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, I'll send you the link at the end of this, you're definitely going to want to, because this is where I'm going to be wanting to see proof that you guys are implementing this. Otherwise, honestly, there's no point in being here. Information is not going to attract money. Implementation of the information will. Now, goals fall into three categories. We have A type goals, we have B type goals, and we have C type goals. Okay, now an A type goal is something that you're going after that you already know how to do. So let's say, for example, you've got your business and you've already made £10,000 in a month through that business, and you set a goal for December to make £10,000 a month this December. That would fall under an A type goal because you already know how to do it. That's not a good goal. In fact, it's a terrible goal, right? Do we know what the true purpose of a goal is? You know, I've just bought a beautiful 4-bedroom home, right? I've just bought a beautiful car. They're not the true purpose of goals. The true purpose of a goal is not to get the house, it's not to get the car. The true purpose of a goal is to grow. That's the true purpose of a goal, is to grow as a human being, is to grow and become a new version of yourself. So if you set a goal like an A-type goal, which you know how to do you think you're going to grow if you already know how to do it? That's not going to force you to grow, right? Now, what I found with most business owners is they fall under the category of B-type goals. A B-type goal is something that you think you can do. And you might have an amazing plan. You might say, do you know what? I've got a great plan. If I just put in if I put in more hours in my business, if I work a bit harder, this is what I think I can do. That's also a terrible goal, right? Because there's no growth in an A-type goal and there's no inspiration in a B-type goal. So when you're going after something that you think you can achieve, you get going, then you lose inspiration, you lose motivation, and then you give up and you don't reach the goal. Remember when I had that phone call with Cam? I was making 15K a year. I told him I want to make 25K a year. He said, that's a terrible goal. That would be categorized as a B-type goal. That is something that I thought that if I tried a bit harder, I could do. A C-type goal is completely different. A C-type goal is what you want. That's a massive idea. What do you want? Don't listen to that voice in your head that says, I want that, but oof, can't do that. Don't know how to do that. It's too. No, take that voice away. If you had all the tools, all the resources, what is it that you would want? How do you want your business to be? How much do you want to earn? Okay. Now, when we're dealing with wants, we're dealing with fantasy. We're fantasizing. When I set the goal to turn my yearly income into a monthly income, it wasn't an A-type goal. I didn't know how to do it. Didn't have a fucking clue how to do it. It weren't a B-type goal. I didn't think I could do it. Never. I didn't think I could do it. But it was what I really wanted. And it caused me to use my imagination. It caused me to fantasize. But what do we get told as kids? We get told that fantasy is just for little kids. Like, you don't fantasize. Fantasy is just for little kids, right? What happens if we fantasize in school? I'm sure all the lads, all the boys on this Zoom call right now, probably at one point wanted to be like the best footballer in the world, or like an astronaut or something amazing. And then when we go and tell our teachers that, we go and tell our mum and dad that, son, like be realistic. You know, like get a job, work, like go after something that's attainable. And we literally get conditioned as children not to fantasize. We get told to be realistic. You know the two brothers that invented the first aeroplane, the Wright brothers. They used to fix bicycles. They was bicycle mechanics. They fantasized. They fantasized. They didn't know how to build the plane. They didn't think they could. No, they seen something in their imagination and they had the awareness. If I can see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hand. You know, their dad was a Christian man, and the dad told them that they're going to burn in hell for even thinking about it. But that's a great question. What do you fantasize? What would you love your business to be like? Maybe you've not done that for a while. It's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to write down everything that you would love, everything that you want. Okay. Now, when we fantasize, we've got to move that fantasy from a fantasy to a theory. This is where we fantasize about how we want our life to be, the trips that we want to take, the business that we want to have, and then we move it to theory. We start playing with the idea. What if this was possible? How could I do it? What actions could I take a different? Now, to move it from fantasy to theory, we've got to ask ourselves two questions. The first question is, are you able to do it? What's your goal, by the way? Let me know in the chat. What is your goal? What is your goal? I want to help you get it. Give you a little minute to type it. What is your goal? That's so important. Remember, a person without a goal is lost. 70K per month. A person without a goal is lost. You know, you think about getting on a plane, right? Think about getting on a plane and you see the pilot and you say, "Hey, pilot, where are we going today?" And the pilot looks at you and goes, "Do you know what? I don't know. We might go to Dubai or we might smash into a building." I mean, you just wouldn't get on the plane because the plane's got no destination. How are you supposed to get to a place if we don't have a clearly defined goal? If we don't have a destination, right? Okay. So all of those things that you put in the chat are absolutely possible, and I can show you exactly how to do it. But to do it, you've got to ask yourself two questions. Number one is, are you able to do it? Are you able to do it? Okay, Marcel, we've got to be a lot more specific in terms of financially free, right? The subconscious mind only responds to specifics, and we'll get into that by the end of this session. But we can't just say, I want more money. I mean, you go outside, you find 10 cents or 10p on the floor, it's more money. Like, what is more money? How much more money? Where do you want to live? Okay. Now, back to the two questions. Yeah, are you able to do it? You know, there's only two sources of reference that we can go to find out anything about ourselves. One is science and one is theology. And if you go to those and you ask those, what are we as human beings capable of doing? They can't tell you. They can't tell you. All they can say is that you have infinite potential. Right? So this masterclass is designed not for you to see how powerful I am, it's for you to understand how powerful you are. Because we look at these planes and motorbikes and we look at these big buildings in Dubai or wherever you are in the world, and we think, wow, look how amazing that building is. It's not as amazing as the human being that created the thought, that created that thing. So the goal, the thing that you want, the way you want to live, you are able to do it. You might not know how to do it, but you're able to do it. And of course, you know, I had a conversation with a guy on Instagram before, and I told him, he said he wants to make £1,000 a month, like through an online business. I said, what are you talking about? How about £100,000 a month? You know, and he's like, yeah, but how? I said, well, you're not gonna know how. If you knew how, you'd already be making 100K a month. The exciting part is finding out how. And a very smart man, he's passed away now, was Steve Jobs. He's got a great quote. He said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. If you're thinking about how to turn your yearly income into a monthly income in 6 months, like I did, you're not going to be able to see how you're going to do it. He said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So you've just got to have faith that the dots are going to line up. So when I set the goal of turning my yearly income into a monthly income, when are you looking at how's it going to happen? You can't see how it's going to happen. It's only when you do it that you look back and you're like, no, I get it. That's how it happened. He said, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So question one, are you able to do it? Are you able to make in December what you made in the whole other 11 months of 2025? You damn right you are. The second question is different though. The second question is, are you willing? Are you willing to do it? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to cause that image in your mind to manifest in your physical life? I mean, give me a no in the chat if you're not, and give me a yes in the chat if you are. Now you might be asking, well, Joel, what's it going to take? Well, look, your goal's going to take whatever it's going to take. It's going to take whatever it's going to take. Yeah? Listen, you don't need to know that you're a goal seeking you came into this world a goal achiever. Think about a brand new baby. The baby's goal at about a year old is to walk. The baby has a C-type goal. No one has to tell it how to achieve goals. It's just through our lives we get all these beliefs from our parents and people around us that just distort how amazing you are. But when a baby's young, the baby has a C-type goal. The baby's goal is to walk. The baby doesn't know it can walk, doesn't think it can walk. No, that's what the baby wants. Sees big sis, sees big bro walking and thinks, I don't know how to do that, but I just want to do that. The baby just knows, like, it's just embedded into us. We just know we're able to do it. The baby doesn't know how to do it, but the baby knows it can do it. It is able to do it. Now, is the baby willing? The hell yeah, the baby's willing. You got little sisters or little brothers or nieces and nephews? They'll fall down the stairs. They'll smack their head 100 times. They'll get knocked down, but did he stay down? No. That baby keeps getting back up, until it's like, look, mum, I'm walking now. The baby's willing to do whatever it takes. It doesn't care how many times it bleeds, how many times it bangs its head, how many times it falls down. The baby gets back up again. And again and again and again. That's how you've got to be. Goal achiever. Remember, failing at something does not make you write that down. Failing at something does not make you a failure. You're only a failure when you stop. And then if you stop, you're a quitter. And winners never quit. And the quitters never win. You know how many times I've failed in my life? But I'm not a failure. Why? Because I'm only a failure if I quit. And quitting is not an option. It's only when we're going after these baby goals, these small goals, that we quit. When you're going after something that you really want, something that excites you, something that stimulates you, where you wake up in the morning, you're like, wow, I'm working towards my dream. There is no quitting. Like, you've got to want your goal as much as you want to breathe, as much as you wanted to wake up and see your family today. That's how it's got to be. Like, you've got to desire it until that desire becomes an obsession. You get knocked down, we've got to get back up. Winston Churchill said it. Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Are you willing to do sales calls and get told no, no, no until you get better at sales and then you start attracting the right client? Or do you get upset when someone says no once and then quit? You know, we've got to become persistent. All successful people are persistent. Yeah, is this helping? Yeah, good. Okay. So the question is, am I able to do it? Yes, you're able to do it. Second question is, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Thomas Edison apparently failed 10,000 times when creating the incandescent light, when he was inventing it. But he was willing to do that. He was willing to do that. When I became a consultant for Bob Proctor's company, and a few of my clients I can see on the Zoom, Mardier and Rob, so many people that became consultants at the same time, I don't see them today. Because when the going got tough, they quit. Oh, this is hard. Let me try something new. And then they try something new, and then they find that, oh, this is hard. Let me try something new. And they're just stopping, starting. We've got to be persistent. We've got to be willing to do whatever it takes to reach our goal. That's so important. Now, I've got the key points here as well. Listen to this. If you're really going to accomplish something, you're going to need to be inspired by going after something that you really want. It's going to have to come from inside. No one can create your goal for you. No one. It can't be. You can't be going after what your mum wants, what your wife wants, what your husband wants for you. Because you're not going to desire it. It's someone else's goal. You've got to go after what you really want. And to do that, you're going to have to go into your imagination. Now, I read Think and Grow Rich every single day. And Napoleon Hill says that the imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force that the world has ever known. I'm very good at what I do. The image, any image that you can see in your mind, I can show you how to get it. And that's not arrogance. It's just we're dealing with universal principles. You know, once you work in harmony with these universal laws, I mean, everything starts to change. Everything starts to change. Now think about this. You must believe you are able and willing to do what is required in order to turn the theory about your wants into a goal. Don't let outside conditions or circumstances dictate how you will live. Refuse to let anything that's going on outside of you stop you. Think about someone that you love. If their life was in danger, would you let anything stop you from saving their life? No, you'd shake the world up for the people that you love. I would. If something was happening to my two amazing children, this little ball that we live on, I'd tear it apart. Well, you got to be the same way about your goal. You got to be the same way about your goal. You got to want it as much as you want to breathe. That's so important. Now think about this. As you get emotionally involved in the goal, you're going to involve your emotions. And the expression of that emotional involvement is going to change your behavior. As your behavior changes, the results start to change and your theory turns into a fact. What do most people do? They see this amazing goal and then they think, I don't know how to do that. So they let it go. Guys, do not let it go. When you build that beautiful picture in your mind, understand that that place that you see, the things that you see, that's a real place. That's a real place. It's just operating on a different frequency, but it's a real place. Don't let it go. Keep thinking about it. Keep getting emotionally involved with it. And then when you get emotionally involved with it, you're planting that idea in the garden of your subconscious mind. Whatever is planted in your subconscious mind has to move into form. Does that make sense? We're not going to go too much into the subconscious mind today. We're going to leave that for tomorrow. But don't let it go. Keep dreaming about it. Keep thinking about it. And then we get emotionally involved with it. Okay? Now think about your business results. Think about how much you're currently earning within your business. Those business results are coming from the actions that you're taking every day within your business. Those actions come from what you're emotionally involved with on a subconscious level. What you're emotionally involved with on a subconscious level comes from what you're thinking about all of the time. So when you set your C-type goal, you write it on your goal card and you carry it with you and you look at it as much as you can. What are you thinking about? You're thinking about your goal, right? Now you're thinking about your goal. What are you going to be emotionally involved with? How are you going to feel? Our thoughts trigger feelings, emotions. Those emotions produce actions, and those actions produce results. Pay attention to this as well. If you let your present results control your thinking, your income can't improve. Don't take my word for that. Just go and see the next 5 people. The next 5 people that you see tonight, tomorrow. Ask them politely, how much do you earn a year? Just ask them and say, oh, that's interesting. And then say, how much did you earn the year before that? And the year before that, go back 5 years. I guarantee you in 97% of the population, it's going to be the same year after year. Why? Because they're looking at their bank balance, their present results, they're letting that dominate their thinking, which produces feelings, which produces actions, which produces the same results. It's just a fucking vicious circle. You got to stop that and you got to start thinking about what you want. Start thinking about the money that you want instead of the money that you've got. Let that dominate your thinking. That's going to produce new feelings. Those feelings express themselves in actions, and they also attract different things to you as well, which is going to produce new results. Is this helping? Okay. Your action step is to join the WhatsApp group. Let me put the link. Join the WhatsApp group. Download your worksheet. Okay. I've created a worksheet so we're not just sat on here just gathering information. I don't want that. I want you by the end of these 3 days to be like, wow, Joel, I'm seeing results. More clients are coming in. My thinking's different. I'm showing up different. Oh, did I? Oops, I sent the wrong thing, right? My bad. 1 second. Okay, so what I've done is I've sent the worksheet. So download that. That's your worksheet. You're only going to do day one. Day one is for implementation for today. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to write our goal. You don't have to do it now, but I want you to write your goal. I want you to take a clear picture of it. I've also put in the WhatsApp group the PDF to my goal card. So you can rather use my PDF or use your own. You're going to write your goal. My PDF already starts with I am so happy and grateful now that. We always talk in terms of present tense because the mind will accept anything that we tell it as truth. So you're going to write your goal card, take a clear picture of it, and post it inside the WhatsApp group with one sentence about how it feels to claim that this goal is already yours. Okay? Then when we come on tomorrow, I want to see it. And I want to see the picture in the WhatsApp group. This is going to let me know that you're putting in the work, that you're taking action. Now, your mind doesn't necessarily want you to do this, right? And it might seem silly. Listen, I am on track annually to make about £500,000 a year. I don't care if it sounds silly. I just want you to do it. I used to think this stuff sounded silly. Sounds illogical, right? It makes a lot of sense when you understand how your mind works. Now, tomorrow, we're going to get into self-image and the knowing doing gap. This is where we're going to really break down, okay, now I've set my goal. How do I get it? How do I become the version of me that that goal belongs to? So if you came to this masterclass with the intention of seeing things in your outside world change, this is where I need you to listen to me. Go to the WhatsApp group and go to the chat and join that WhatsApp group. It's only through implementation that we're going to get results. You see, these people out there that go to Harvard, they go to Oxford University, and they can't make more than £50,000 a year. And you get someone like me who got kicked out of school at 13, and I make £50,000 a month. Right? It's not about what we know. Who cares about what we know? I don't care about what I know. I care about my results. I care about what I do with what I know. So this part of the masterclass every day is going to be getting you to implement. And this is also why mentorship is so important as well. It's not just about information. Information is not going to change your results. It's accountability. It's implementation. So I want to see a picture of your goal card so I can actually see that you're getting results from this masterclass. Okay? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've already joined the WhatsApp group. Let me know. Marcella's, Risa's perfect. Let me know. Any questions about how to set your goal? Why we want to set a massive goal? Let me know in the chat right now. Okay? Now, when you go to your worksheet, you're going to see questions, and some of them may be uncomfortable. They might be questions that you've never asked yourself before. Right? But listen, to have things that we've never had, we're going to have to do things that we've never done. To have things that we've never had, we're going to have to do things that we've never done. In the worksheet for day one, I take you through the process of identifying what it is that you really want and how to get it on your goal card, right? I mean, Rob and Mardier, I take them through thinking into results. Rob's actually on his second time. They will tell you, like, I drill my clients. If they come on the Zoom call without their goal card, I'm telling them, what are you playing at? We literally become what we think about. Chanda, that's a great question. On my goal card, I always have a financial goal. It's not necessarily about the money for me. It's about the growth, the person that I have to become that money belongs to. And also remember this, the money that you earn is in direct ratio to the service that you give. Most people sit there, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? That's not the right question. The right question is, how can I be of more service? And that's why I believe, and what Wallace D. Wattles also says this in The Science of Getting Rich, being poor is a sin. It's a sin. And I'll tell you why I believe that, and Wallace D. Wattles did, right? We get paid in proportion to the service that we give. So if a person is making no money, it means they're not being of service to their fellow human beings. And that's what we're here to do. That's what I'm doing right now. I've got a goal. I've got a goal to become Bob Proctor's best consultant ever. And that's why I am doing these masterclasses right now. Being of service. Serving my clients better, right? Serving you guys better. The only way that you're going to reach your goal is to be of more service. It's the only way. Now, there's a law, and we might get into a few of the laws as well, but there's a law called the law of cause and effect. And there's a law called the law of receiving. Most people think they've got to get. Put that WhatsApp group in there for you. Most people think, oh, I've got to go and get. No, you've not. The law of receiving says if we want to receive, we first must give. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm working in harmony with the law of receiving. Created a masterclass. I have information that will change your lives. And I come on here and I give before I receive. Now, yeah, I will invite you to a one-to-one call with me to show you exactly how to skyrocket your business and your results. But before I do that, I always give. Now, if it doesn't come back from any of yous, that's completely fine. It has to come back. If I go and give food to a homeless person, if I go and get them a place to sleep for the night, can that person give anything back to me? Probably not. But did I give to that person or did I give to the universe? Everything you do, every action, it has an equal and opposite reaction. You want to earn more money, we've got to be of more service. If you've already got clients, if you've already got a product, how can you make it better? How can you make it better? How can you do more than you're paid to do? That's a big one. If you're not willing to do more than you're paid to do, you will never be paid more for what you do. Are you going the extra mile for your clients? This is leadership, guys. This is business. This like blew your minds a bit. Like if yous have never come across this like way of thinking before. I know when I first came across Bob on YouTube, like I listened to Bob for like 2 hours. I'm like I need a break. Like my mind is just like exploded right now. Right? It's a lot. Okay. But the truth is, it works and it's very easy. It's very easy to do. Remember, earning money is a game. And like all games, you can get better at it. Who drives? Give me a yes in the chat if you drive. Give me a yes in the chat if you drive. Usman drives. Right. Marty drives, right? Okay, think about this, right? Remember when you first like went on like your first driving lesson and like the driving instructor was like, okay, like it's your turn. And then like you'd get there and like you'd be like so like, whoa, this is like, you'd be panicking, like you'd stall, you'd just be all over the place, right? Well, you might be like that right now with money, and that's okay. But money can become like driving. Once you just know how to do it, now you're on the phone. Now you're tickling your kids in the back of the car. Now you're like having conversations with the missus, and it's like you're just driving like on automatic. Well, you can do the same with money. Okay. Now, what I would really recommend for every single one of you here, and don't overthink this at all. Go on that link and book a one-to-one call with me. Click that link. I mean, by the end of this masterclass, then 3 days, the calls are definitely going to be gone, right? But on these calls, I literally show you how to get from where you are to where you want to be, and I will show you the subconscious blocks that are keeping you stuck. Remember, we all have blind spots. Now, the reason why I got into this industry is because I do not want to see people like you struggle. I tried doing it on my own for years. What happens when you want to drive a car? You don't just get in the car and try and drive it. You'd crash it. You'd make loads of mistakes. You don't do that. You hire someone who has the results that you want. You pay for a driving instructor. You sit next to the driving instructor. The driving instructor sits with you. They hold your hand. They show you what to do. Then you can do it on your own. And then you start doing it on your own. Well, it's the same with money. It's very hard when you're trying to do it on your own from your level of awareness. Okay. Now, my calendar gets full very quick. And also, I know some of you might not be able to make it tomorrow. That's why I said go and book a call with me right now. Right. But if you're watching this and you're like, do you know what? Like I'm interested or like whatever. please don't, don't book the call. Leave it for someone else. But if you are like really serious and committed, then I go and book one of those calls before they go. We all have blind spots, and we need to identify those blind spots so we're not running on a treadmill year after year after year after year, because it doesn't have to be that way. Abundance is really, really your birthright. You can have anything that you want. The way that I'm living now, I mean, as a little boy, I could have only dreamt of. I provide for everyone around me. And it gets me emotional thinking about it, because the way I live, you can live. We're no different. In fact, we're actually the same. We might have different skin colors, different names, but that's not us. That's just the body that we live in. Your spiritual being and your spiritual DNA is absolutely perfect. And the only limits are the ones that you're imposing upon yourself. Now, when we was younger, we was programmed by the people around us. So the way you think, the way you believe, the things that you believe about yourself, they might not be your fault, but it is your fault if you choose to stay the way that you are. And if we really want to know where we're programmed, just take an honest look at your results. Your results are going to tell you where you're programmed. And I don't care if you're watching this now and one of you is making £100,000 a week. It just means by booking that call with me and getting implementation, it just means you're going to do better. I got clients signing 140,000 contracts. Robin Mardier, before this, was on my client Q&A. Peter just shared he went to price up a job yesterday. He's just sent over the invoice, £20,000, and he's pricing up another one tomorrow, £32,000. These are people that started with me and were where you were. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're thinking that, you know what, if I put in more hours, I'm going to earn more money. Maybe you're on the verge of giving up. I don't know. Maybe that's why you booked this masterclass. But I do know you booked it for a reason. Okay? I'm going to send the recording out. Implementation, massive action. Right? You might be having dinner after this. I don't know what you're doing after this. But before you go bed, make it a priority to post your goal card in the group. But don't just think about writing it now. Go through the worksheet and go through the answers. I've designed that worksheet so by the end of these 3 days, you are not going to be the same man or the same woman again. Okay? Give me a thumbs up if you are joining tomorrow, or you can join tomorrow. Reese, Marcel, beautiful. And give me a yes in the chat if you're joining tomorrow. Perfect. Beautiful. Listen, also, I don't mind when I send the recording over. If you want to, send it to a family member, send it to someone else who's maybe a business owner, wants to earn more money. People need this. People need this, right? And fucking good on you. You could have been anywhere in the world, I don't know, watching Netflix, sitting down with the missus, eating some chocolate or something. But you decided to be here and invest in yourself. Okay? Massive win for you. Yeah, we'll end it there. Implementation, and tomorrow we're really going to dive into the knowing doing gap, why we're not doing things that we already know we should be doing, why we're procrastinating, and also self-image as well, how to create a new self-image of the version of you that is just a beast. Ladies, don't start growing hair on your back. Right, I'll send you the recording over, okay? Have a fantastic evening. I'll see you tomorrow.